I'm the editor of DAOFitLive, which is a fitness blog and YouTube channel dedicated to busy working professionals who want to be fit but don't have the time to figure it out. And today I'm here to talk to you about how to lose the last 10 pounds. And I can talk from personal experience because this is something that I did recently. I'm going to put two pictures up. One is of me 10 pounds heavier, and the other is of me 10 pounds later. And so this isn't a huge difference. It's not a dramatic weight loss story. But I think for many of us, it's the last 5 or 10 pounds that are really the most difficult. Like if you've already lost a large amount of weight, you may find that, wow, like it really came off so easily in the beginning just by changing small habits, but then you hit a plateau. And so you're eating really healthy and you're exercising and you don't know what you're doing wrong because no more weight will come off, but you're still not where you want to be. So for me, I really made a few select changes that were counterintuitive to, I think, of what a lot of mainstream fitness industry advice is, but they ended up working and I ended up losing the weight. And now I'm at a weight where I feel a lot more comfortable with myself. I fit into my work clothes a lot better, which I think is another thing that differentiates us as professionals versus people who do fitness full time. It's like we have to fit into very tailored clothing. We have to travel a lot. We're not wearing spandex all day. So we probably might have different body goals, like just wanting to look leaner, especially if you're a woman, and less bulky. So I made changes consistent to achieve that goal. So the first thing that I did that really helped was to drop my protein intake. And I know this sounds, taboo, against much fitness advice, but hear me out. The recommended daily allowance for protein is actually a lot less than the Bro Science recommends. The Bro Science recommends that you get about a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I'm a 130 pound woman, and that would mean for me 130 grams of protein. And if you look at how much food that actually is, that's like 6 chicken breasts a day. It's actually a lot, and it's even harder if you're not an animal protein eater. And where the fitness industry also comes in on that is that there's a lot of protein bars and protein shakes you can buy to supplement to get these high levels of protein that you don't even really need, because the recommended daily allowance is only 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of weight. So if you say that my weight is converted to 58 kilograms, that's only about 50 grams of protein. So because I exercise, I shoot for a little above that, say 60, and that's really easy for me to do consistently with my normal dietary needs. So once I did that, I really noticed a difference. I was leaning out. I felt more energetic because my kidneys weren't so taxed, and I felt less bloated. So that was one change that I made that really helped. Before I go on to the next one, I also want to caveat, I'm not speaking from a preference of a medical doctor or a trainer. I'm only speaking from my own personal experience. So what I'm saying may or may not be applicable to you. And of course, before you make any changes in your diet or exercise, do consult with a professional. So in fact, my reduction in protein intake, that advice actually came from a registered dietitian that I consulted with, because I went to her and I laid out what I was eating per day. And she said, why are you eating so much protein? You don't need that much protein. No one needs that much protein. So it was very eye-opening to speak to her. So I would highly recommend seeing a registered dietitian, someone who's very qualified to speak to that. But of course, seeing one for yourself to get the proper medical advice that's tailored to your own individual needs. So the next thing I did has to do with the exercise space, and that was the way I was approaching exercise. So again, I had been, influenced by the fitness industry, by many trainers that I trained with, and I found a lot of success with them. But I also find that there's this school of thought in training, especially when it comes to women, in that it's, lift very heavy weights to build muscle and lose fat. And that may work for some people, okay? But for me, it was just making me build muscle under the fat I already had. It wasn't achieving the look that I wanted. And even if I had a smaller percentage of body fat, I still felt too bulky. I wasn't fitting into my clothes. I couldn't fit into my favorite skinny jeans. The pencil skirts I was wearing were too tight. The blazers that I wanted to button weren't quite fitting because, you know, I had expanded and gotten bulky in my back and in my legs. So again, I think there's like a cultural difference that not all mainstream fitness advice recognizes, that for professional women, you know, we wear very tailored and fitted clothing, and we require certain agility and leanness to feel successful in that space. And, you know, doing a lot of deadlifts and heavy squats wasn't really achieving that goal for me. So I changed my approach, and I focused more on body conditioning, power yoga, Pilates, or even just taking long walks. Like, I also used to push myself a lot with a lot of spinning classes and very strenuous, intense boot camp classes. But that would actually have a counterproductive effect because it would make me very hungry. And that's the other element of what was really holding me back from those last few pounds, is that I was getting very hungry and engaging in what is called, it's actually a term, it's called compensatory eating behavior, to eat more than calories that I needed because I thought I was burning off all of these calories, when the truth is that a lot of Fitbit and other calorie calculators are inaccurate. There is a survey done by Stanford University that shows it's actually around 93% of the time. And I will link that research in the description. And B, it's just a fact that, you know, certain hormones are activated when you're under that much stress from the exercise that make your body naturally want to eat more, that make you naturally crave more sugar. But when I actually, for a period of time, just put a pause on a lot of exercising altogether and focused more on my diet, I really felt like I got more results that way. And in fact, you know, now I really, instead of saying like, okay, like I have to work out today because this is what's needed to keep the shape I want or get the body I want, now that I know that it's not true, that pressure's off. So I respond to how, you know, my body feels that day. I make it a priority to meditate in the morning, and that grounds me and enables me to make more of a mind-body connection with food. And that just leads me to my last point. Another thing that I learned through this experience was focusing on your mental fitness and your state of mind is really going to be something that can be the game changer with those last couple of pounds. Because when we're under a lot of stress, we release a hormone called cortisol, and that's directly linked to weight gain, especially in the abdomen area, and the inability to lose weight there. And I'll also link an article that I wrote about that in the description. And so when I focused more on meditation, getting enough sleep, and just responding to the needs of my body, like if I feel like moving and exercising that day, I will, but it's more for enjoyment rather than something that I think that I have to do. Because let's face it, there's a lot of things we do every day because we have to, and making fitness and a desire to treat your body well something that you just have to do is going to automatically put it on the back burner. It's not going to prioritize it. But if it's something that you want to do because it's what makes you feel good, then it's a totally different story. So I hope that these tips were helpful and that you can implement some of this to become successful if you want to lose those last few pounds, or if you've hit a plateau. I know it can be really frustrating, and it's frustrating for me. It was, and I've been there, you know, several times, you know, through life. But I pushed past it, and I really think that the lessons that I learn in the long term will make life better, not just make it just about weight or a number. So if you've found the video helpful, please do like it and subscribe to the channel. And please remember to subscribe to DAOFitLive.com for a bi-weekly newsletter that is targeted toward busy professionals who want to be fit but don't have the time to figure it out. Thank you.